And welcome back to my channel for this Saturday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I want to talk to you about special educational needs and disability support for parents and carers, because this is a topic that came up in a meeting that I was in with Tom Hunt, the MP for Ipswich, last Friday when I attended his meeting at Dance East. And this is an important topic to talk about, to raise the profile of, because as an autistic woman myself, obviously I was diagnosed later on in life. My parents had very little support with regards to my mental health or even getting me a autism assessment. It took my mum, my aunt, my dad and my surrounding family years to get me any kind of provisions or help. And I think this is a topic that many parents are going to relate to. I think a lot of parents know that they are left without any support or any offer of support, and I think this is shocking, unacceptable, and it needs to be dealt with. It needs to be raised to the higher up authorities, and luckily I've had my voice and my opportunity to go to Tom Hunt directly and raise this issue to him in person and bring it to the public attention. I think this is also something that was discussed in the meeting with one of the headmasters from the Sir Bobby Robson Special School, who realises that the barrier to parents getting support for their autistic children or children with disabilities is an issue. And I think, again, this is down, sadly, I'm going to say it, and I know this is going to sound a bit negative, but funding and provisions within Suffolk, within Ipswich as a general fact. And I think that that's something that we need to work together on to improve and to make awareness of. As an autistic adult, I feel it's a shame that parents don't get enough support. There doesn't seem to be enough services or people trained within autism, learning disability or mental health to be that resource, to be that person to go to. I know it again falls down to the NHS, which is the National Health Service here in the UK, or down to the mental health professionals who have a strict load of work they have to adhere to and a strict routine and legal way of doing things, so they only have a selected time frame to spend with parents and both the diagnosed person. So they have a lot going on with themselves, and again that is down to funding, and again down to time constraints and referrals and timings and appointments, etc. So again, that does make it hard work for both the professional, but it does stress out the parents and the individual concerned that is getting assessed or diagnosed for autism, learning disability, mental health disorders. It does cause a lot of interactional problems and stress and mental health and anxiety for both the parent. And I think the problem is parents go so long and so many years trying to get their daughter, their son help, and unfortunately there is nowhere to go, and unfortunately there is nowhere to go for me or people that I know of. And unfortunately, again, this isn't down to the autism service, not at all. This is down to, again, funding. This is down again to lack of resources within Suffolk, to be fair. I think what we need to be doing is having a service or a voluntary advice line where people with autism and some parents and carers sit there and help give advice and support to others. Because yes, there is the adult autism support group, social group for over 18s, but where did the parents get respite? Where did the parents go to get a breather? They don't have anywhere to go. So for them, it's like life carries on as normal every day, but for us, at least there's some kind of little bit of a relief. But whereas things for my mum, my dad, my aunt, my sister, all my associated family who have campaigned for years to get me help, the right supports, the right accommodations, the right treatment. And, it's sad because unfortunately there isn't no appropriate supports. And this does frustrate me because, again, things like going for a simple optician's appointment or going to get my general checkup at the GP, or going to, say, have a dental appointment or something like that. And again, that all has to be considered with taking my parents with me or my sister with me or someone that will support my mental health well-being to attend a basic appointment, because my anxiety is so high that I can't do it by myself. And the problem is with that is that people then say, oh, Gemma, just grow up, just go on your own, you're a grown adult, you're nearly 35 years old. No, it's not about that. It's the fact that my anxiety and my sensory overwhelm and overload gets so severe, I can't go on my own. I would pull out last minute, or I will make my dad do a phone call, go, oh no, not today, I'm not feeling it, or I don't want to go, and I'll make up an excuse why not to go. So again, there needs to be some kind of support or provision or some kind of advice where they can go, because people like my dad, my mum, my sister, my aunt, people who are around me 24/7, who have basically been there by my side to support me, need to have better help and support, because let's face it, the DWP are useless, which is the Department of Work and Pensions, and the lack of support, or very minimal support, that I've had from them over the years since claiming state benefits has been shocking. And I finally got myself a disability advisor, but again, that's far and few in between. I see her on average probably once every, I want to say 3-4 months at this rate, and again, that's not acceptable. Again, I'm left dropped down the system, or they're on holiday, or they're busy with another client, or they're sick, and it's just unacceptable. The way that the system works is broken. It isn't fit for purpose, and unfortunately, I have raised this to Tom Hunt in general, which is my MP for Ipswich, and I have made this known on my videos before. I really want the support for parents to improve, because I feel my mum, my dad, my aunt, my sister's partner, people who are around me all the time, don't get any support, and they're having to constantly ask me how to support them. They're constantly asking questions how they can support me, and that shouldn't be fair on them, because they're the ones who've had to battle for years upon years upon years to get me this far, and to get me my diagnosis, to get me my help, to get me my accommodations, and that shouldn't have took that much attempts to get me this far. The problem is I was dropped through the system repeatedly over and over and over again, and the problem is this is got to stop, because some parents will just give up and keep not bother going back, whereas luckily my dad and my mum were very much about pushing the system to try and get me the right help, supports that I was entitled to, that I am now starting to get after my diagnosis. It's come up to 10 years since being diagnosed. I was diagnosed at 24. I'm now nearly 35. So, it's been coming up a long time. I've struggled throughout most of my life, and now I'm finally getting some form of supports and accommodations. But again, this is still failing parents, carers who do associate with people with autism or disability, or people who live with someone, or people who work with someone with autism or learning disability. There needs to be some kind of more support for parents in the background who are doing behind the scenes care all the time. And I think that if things continue the way that they're going, it's not going to improve. It's just going to get worse for a lot of us, and worse for a lot of the parents who are the 24 hours a day heroes, who don't get a simple thank you, or don't get asked how they are, or do they need any support. And I think that's a shame, because that shows how far behind we are in the actual system, and how far we are behind in offering mental health support, physical support, services for them like a respite, or just being able to sit down and have something to eat, something to drink. Where is that? There isn't anything. And I think that's what let Suffolk down, to be fair. A lot of parents could do with this break, or could do with this kind of support, and make sure that we have somewhere they can go to be supported, and have a professional talk to them, or even people who have been diagnosed. It'd be interesting to see the dynamic between the diagnosed person and the parents and carers, to see how much information we can offer each other, and how much support we can offer each other. And I think that's where we need to start improving a lot of things. Hopefully now, since the meeting that I've had with Tom Hunt, we'll start changing things, and we'll start seeing better supports and provisions for people and for parents as well. Let me know what you feel about what I've said down below in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.